It's not real.
Doesn't look real. This is all recorded.
You don't think I could afford a watch like this, Neil? It was a gift.
Alright, go. You're ready.
I have the 80 for SevereMMA sitting with Neil Seery here just before training, so we won't keep him too long. Neil, how are you?
Great.
The first thing on everybody's mind.
No, it's improvement. The short improvement. Andrew McGatton's poxy looking now. You can't get one of them, Andrew.
The first thing on everybody's mind is how quickly did this fight come about? Because I was just saying to Dave earlier that he's asked about this fight before, and it seems like he wants to fight you. You want to fight him.
Well, back in when I first in Dublin show, he came up to me after he fought Brad Pickett, and he's kind of sort of sussing me out, I think. And I said to him, I'd love to fight him one day, and he says, no problem, I'm back since then. It's more or less back and forth, and he was calling me out, and he had 2 fights that he got pull-outs of and stuff like that. Things didn't go his way. He was out injured. He didn't know whether he was going to retire or not. So I think it's a great time to have the fight. I'm finishing regardless of the result, and Ian McCall doesn't know what he's going to do yet. So just hopefully we can have both of us can make it there, and we can have a great fight in the night.
Yeah, and that's sort of my next question would be about the retirement. I was only up here training on Tuesday, and I saw Pete come up. I had absolutely no idea what he was coming up for. I just thought it was the fight just got announced, so obviously he's going to do an interview with you. Are you happy that it went the way it went, putting it out that way?
Yeah, I wanted to put it out that way. I wanted to sort of let people know before we stepped in for the last time, if they want to come up and see me or get some tickets and stuff and come up and support me. I've always had great support in Ireland, and I'm hoping for the last one I'll have the same, and that was more or less it. And I was putting it out there just to let people know I wasn't going to make excuses. I'm not going to prick around. This was it, like win, lose or draw, I was walking away either way, so that's more or less why I put it out there.
Yeah. And in the PT article you were talking about having the whole family there, and I know at the last Dublin show I was there with your eldest daughter when you fought, and I saw the delight obviously when you won. Obviously all the Rhino lads went crazy, so it was a great for you now to have the 2 young futures as well, who knows in a few years time maybe they could be going down this path as well.
Yeah, that was the plan, everybody wanted to book on up to Belfast, and they're only just looking for a holiday. I bring them nowhere. Make them cycle to the gym to get fed. But no, it's, do you know what, it's just one of them that they all wanted to be there. I told them I was returning before I took the fight. I sort of knew that the fight was going to come about. After Ian McCall had the other drop out, he called me out, and it would have made sense because he wanted Belfast. You know what I mean? He's had to make it 2 hard weight cuts. He couldn't do it probably again in a month's time, so it gives him time to recover from that and go again. So I had a feeling I was going to get the fight. It was a fight that interested me. There wasn't really much else that did interest me. Looking at the Ultimate Fighter, you're looking at this new breed of flyweights coming through the rank.
Different guys,
and it is intense. The skill level has gone up. You can see people are getting knocked out. Flyweights are getting stronger, quicker. And to be honest, I'm on my way down. I'm 37 years of age. I know everybody's at a full-time job. I have the family. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm going downhill because of my age. You know what I mean?
And that's what you're making the decision based off. It's not a kind of case of, I want to keep going for another 3 or 4 years. No. It's a case of you feel that, you're on the decline, other guys are on the incline, and, it's a good decision.
That's more or less the decision. Yeah, I want to spend more time with my family.
Of course.
My 2 girls are grown up now.
Yeah, you're saying.
Yeah, and then I've got the 2 boys now, and I just want to spend more time with them. And the fact is that the flyweight division is coming alive. People are getting quicker. We can see that in the last fight with Haraguchi. He was so fast, he was so strong. He was just, now I stayed there, but I took a beating. You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to say I took a beating. I took a beating off a better fighter on the night. A top level guy on the night, and he's probably going to go on and challenge for the flyweight title again. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where me, I was hitting that level. I tried to compete with him. I tried to stay with the speed with him. I stayed the distance with him, but I didn't have the pace to stay in with him, and that's a decline to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? People say, there's loads left in the tank. There is loads left in the tank. I can go up there and start trying for 2-3 hours, but you can't compete at this level if you don't put everything into it full time as these lads are doing.
Yeah. And did you expect, like, since that's happened, like the internet's blown up with people retweeting the articles and people sending lovely messages and like that about you and stuff, did you expect to get such a wide audience to be, contacting you back since the retirement talk?
No, I was expecting the usual. You're sure it's about time article. You're a bluffer. You only made it because of somebody else's success or somebody else's dismiss or something. So it was. I was expecting all the stick. I wasn't expecting all the messages and stuff like that. And I am thankful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I am thankful, but I'm here now. I'm just under 8 weeks from Belfast. I'm gonna put everything I have on hold. I'm going to go at this 110%. I'm going to try to go out with a win. I'm going to try my hardest to go out with a win like I always do. I step in there and give everything I have. I never ever walk away and say, oh, I should have done this, should have done that. I don't do that shit. I go in and put it all on the line. And if the outcome is a win, if the outcome is a loss, it doesn't matter. I'm still walking away.
Yeah. One thing that I've thought has been brilliant in the gym since in the last couple of weeks, even before the fight was announced, your youngest, I would say your eldest boy, Ryan, he's been nearly at every single training session with you. Even today he cycled up with you, and is that something? And he does a little rhinos on Sundays as well.
Yeah.
Would you be happy to see him go down this path as well, or?
Yeah, sure, why not? Look at him, he's happy. There's a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wanted to come up, he wanted to cycle up the road. We had the car down there. He said, it's nice out. We'll cycle up. And kids love that. Kids love just to get out and buzz with their family. That's what they want. And look, and he's terrible young, and the kids class from in here and around the country is just brilliant for all kids. So it's great to see them doing it. Will some of them go on to fight? Who knows?
And probably one of the last things I want to ask about is, like, you spoke about that you're going out on your own terms. Like, obviously there's been a lot of Irish fighters, and in general, there's been a kind of a revolving door of a lot of guys who've had one stint at the UFC, 2 stints, 3 stints, but you've had a really good stint with them, and you're going out on your own terms. How good does that feel?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I'm going out on my own term. Because I worked really, really hard to get here. Yeah, I did. I really pushed my balls to get into this position. I took fights when people says, like, no, you've no chance of getting in there, you've no chance of winning, and I proved them wrong. Beat Chris Beale, he was 10-0 coming off the Ultimate Fighter, spectacular knockout and stuff. I went out and dominated him. When people says when I was the underdog, I went and dragged people into 3 rounds fights that they didn't want to be in. They hate me after the fight. They don't want to look at me, because I'm after dragging them through wars. But I end up in the UFC, as you say. A lot of people will get cut from the UFC, head off some other organisation, try to get back in, and most time, 9 out of 10 times, they lose their first fight and they're gone. People forget all about them. Now I'm going out on my own terms, and which I always wanted. I said from the start that I was going to finish here, and this is where I finish.
Yeah. And for me as a fan of Irish MMA, and of you in particular, like, it's great because I know when I first started training here, I think it was just after the Ulysses Gomez fight didn't go through, and I remember Andy talking about how you were talking about possible retirement back then, and we as fans are glad that you never did it because you've given us such amazing fights. But how did you feel back then, and obviously from then till now?
Yeah, well, like after that shit happens to you, it's no joke. You've put in serious amount of time, and it happened to McCall there last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It happened 2 weeks ago, whatever it is, and he had the exact same problem. Come in to weigh in, nobody turns up to weigh in. We weighed in on the scales, nobody else is there. How disheartening is that? You have to cut the weight, you have to do everything, and there's no one else there. Like, money doesn't make that feel better because you're geared up to fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now money, you will probably, after you think, oh shit, I've still got a lot of money, But in them, when I was the Carriage Warriors days, I wasn't getting that.
Yeah.
I was getting paid, but it was fuck all. I was handing it out here, there, and everywhere. Yeah. So you wanted to perform. You were all geared up to perform, and then you come back and what do? You pig, you eat, you drink, you feel shy, and all. You just don't want to do anything else,
Yeah.
And only for Andy and the rest of the team. Other than that, I probably would have just went off the rails and just said, stick with it, something will turn. And it did in March, in 2014. I got a call, a quick turnaround.
Look, I'm gonna keep it too much longer. I know you've got training, obviously training hard for this fight. I just want to say, from me and from all the other Irish fans out there, it's been an absolute pleasure being able to, for me anyway, to be able to train alongside you and to watch you fight. And you're going to leave the sport as an absolute legend. I know you wouldn't want it any other way, and that's why people like Ian McCall are calling you out, because they know you bring in every fight, you don't pull out fights. And how do you feel about that, going out this way? And
yeah, that's the way I wanted to go out. It's nice to be called out by people. some of them probably just hate you and just want to call you out to beat the fuck out of you. But that's just the way it is, you know. It's nice when top fighters call you out and want to compete against you, you know, because they know I do bring a good fight, you know. And hopefully for the fans, I can put another one on the 19th of November. Get your tickets. We have a load of them. I'm selling them for double of the price. I'm broke. I have to pay. New push bike. No, anybody else wants to see me come up, it's going to be a fun night.
Perfect. UFC Fight Night, November 19th. Fight Pass. Neil, thank you so much for the time. Speak to you soon.